people, welcome back to Food Glam Life. I hope you're doing very well today. Today I'm going to address those of you who have told me time and again that I often do stuff that is a little more advanced, which, you know, I have a varied audience, but there's some of you who consider yourself amateurs or beginners, etc, etc. And some of you are just starting out building your makeup collection or have just become more interested in makeup beyond just having, you know, an eyeliner, kajal pencil or something like that, and some lipstick. So one of the questions that I got was, you know, if you're just starting out with makeup or I'm interested in buying more. There was someone who'd asked me that, you know, because they're about to get married, they want to sort of have like a little makeup kit to take with them. So whatever your reason may be, today I'm going to discuss what you can have in one little makeup pouch. So some of it is very, very basic, and some of it is just stuff that maybe if you want to take it like a step further. I wouldn't call this a professional kit in any way. Obviously, not everyone wants to own 6 different concealers. So in that sense, you can keep all the makeup that you actually need on a daily basis and even for special occasions in one pouch. This pouch is actually really, really great. I got it from Primark, I think, and it's very spacious. It was very affordable. It's really nice to travel with, and it's really, really cute. I don't know if you can see the print on it, but it's really pretty paisley with like, yeah, paisleys. Before we get started, I want you to go pause this and scroll down and find the subscribe button. You know where it is. Please click on it and then we will continue. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So now that we have that out of the way, oh yeah, I'm so stupid. I also have a giveaway that I'm going to be talking about at the end of this video. So if you're interested in that, then make sure you watch till the end and find out how to win from the giveaway. All right, let's get started. So like I said, this is a nice size pouch. Pouch is not really even important, but I'm just going to pull out the stuff I have in here and go over it one by one. I guess I'm going to talk about stuff that like you really, really do need, and then just stuff that you can have as well, which is just going to be a nice addition to your little makeup starter collection. Now, what I wanted to do was talk about primer. Primer is definitely not an essential aspect of your makeup, but if you would like to have your foundation go on smoother and just stay on longer, then primer is a great little addition, and you can actually find them now in the drugstore and they're not necessarily very expensive. You can use moisturizer. It works, especially if you have dry skin. Certain moisturizers work very well as a primer. But if you're interested in a primer for dry skin, then this one by e.l.f., the Hydrating Face Primer, I really like it. It's great for dry skin. If you have oily skin, then may I suggest the Urban Decay Deslick. If you have dry skin, do not use this, because first of all, this dries down almost immediately and it kind of really sucks out the oil from your skin. I mean, it's called Deslick. So this is a pore minimizing and shine control and mattifying primer. So this is definitely meant for oily skin. If you have mature skin, if you have dry skin, and especially if you have dry spots anywhere, please do not use this. So that was optional. Right? The next thing that I'm going to suggest, and I really highly suggest that you get one if you don't already have one, and that is foundation. This is a drugstore option. This is a Loreal 24-hour foundation. This is the Infallible Pro Glow, and this is really pretty. This got a radiant finish, and this one's meant for normal to dry skin. So obviously the stuff I'm now going to be mentioning mostly is for normal to dry skin, because that's the kind of skin that I have. But if you're oily, please find something that's mattifying that works for you. Why I would suggest foundation is, even if you don't like to wear foundation, I honestly don't like to wear foundation on most days. But that being said, when I go out, there's a special occasion or something like that, I need to have foundation. And even if you're blessed with very good skin, sometimes there is a little bit of unevenness and, you know, maybe pigmentation, maybe some scarring, something or the other, and foundation is just great to cover that up. So you don't need to spend a ton of money. Maybelline, L'Oreal both make really great foundations in quite a few shades. I would recommend just go pick that up. Otherwise, you can go and order some stuff from Sephora. What I would recommend when you are picking out a foundation shade is to apply 3 shades. One that you think is your color, one that you think is lighter, and one that is a shade darker. And then apply them right here on your jawline and take it down to your neck. If your neck and décolleté is very different in color or shade from your face, then I would say to match it here because that's what the rest of your body is basically going to look like more. The other thing is that foundations come in undertones, so it's very important to figure out what your undertone is. I could have done a whole entire video on foundations, but I'm going to do this really quickly. I've seen this a lot, especially with a lot of my clients, because I ask them to just bring in whatever foundation they have just so that I can see what they're using. And a lot of times they're wearing the wrong foundation, especially in terms of undertone. So there's a cooler undertone, which is basically having more pinkiness in your face, and then there's a warmer undertone, which is having more golden yellow undertones, and then there's neutral. I fall in neutral to golden or neutral to warm. A good way to tell what your undertone is just by looking at your wrist here and the veins. If you look at them and they look green, then you are more yellow. If they look more purple, then you are cool, because they're blue, so primary colors, secondary colors, all of that stuff. If you can't tell, you're most likely neutral. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about this. If you want more information on it, please let me know down below. Okay, second thing that I feel is essential. I feel it's essential for me, and I think for a lot of Pakistani, Indian, South Asian women, because we have a lot of discoloration here. Even if you have one shade with your, your under eyes are perfect and your skin matches everything, it's a good idea to have a concealer that sort of highlights, and so you just want to go 2 shades lighter than your foundation. Don't go way too light. If you have discoloration the way I do, if you haven't seen my other videos, you can see when I'm doing my Get Ready with me or any of those or I'm trying on some stuff, I have dark under eye circles and discoloration. A good thing for that, before you apply your foundation, would be to get a dark circle corrector, and that is usually something that's a little darker, a little orangey salmon toned. If they're really dark, you can go all the way to bright orange and red. If they're not so bad, then you can stay with something that's salmon shaded. So these things I would really recommend, especially if you have discoloration. Get the corrector, apply that, do the foundation, then put on the concealer. Because if you're putting just concealer on straight, you're gonna look ashy, you're gonna look gray. It's not going to hide your under eye circles. Next thing that you want, I sort of put both of these together. I didn't put out a loose setting powder. Again, that's an optional thing. If you're just starting out, you don't really need loose powder. You can actually use either of these, especially when you do concealer. You do need to set it. We tend to crease a lot. I think almost everyone creases under their eyes, and a great way to help stop that is first pat out your concealer and all the creasing, and then follow it up with a finishing powder, a setting powder. This one by NYX is great. This is the banana one, so this is nice and brightening without giving you flashback. And then this one is just by Maybelline. It's the Fit Me Set Smooth setting powder, and you can actually use this to set your whole face. These are slightly different from compacts, where basically it's powdered foundation. You could use those if you have oily skin, just powdered foundation, but if you have dry skin, I would not recommend those because they will really stick to your dry patches and give you cake face. All right, moving on. One thing that I would recommend is to get one eyeshadow palette. Get one at least. If you want more, you can get more. So I've included an affordable option and something that's slightly more higher end. Why do I say palette as opposed to single eyeshadows? You could get single eyeshadows, but the good thing about a palette is that you will get in it, for example, you will get a variety of shades. This one that I'm including, which is the affordable one, is the I Heart Chocolate palette by I Heart Makeup, which is basically by Makeup Revolution. So it's going to include a transition shade. Mine has Hit Pan. I love this transition shade. It's going to include a matte bone colored shade, a shimmery shade, and then it'll have its shimmers and mattes, and something like this is really great. You can use it for an everyday look. You can use it for, going out kind of looks. Look, I really like this palette. It is such a great little buy. The payoff of the colors is really great. You see, you can get a nice brown smoky eye. You can do a daytime, everyday kind of look. This is what I used on my eyes today, so it's a great little palette. If you are willing to invest a little bit more and spend a little bit more, you really cannot go wrong with Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows, except for maybe the Subculture palette. I do not own that, but there's been a lot of backlash on it. If you enjoy rose and warm, pinky, fiery kind of looks, this is a great palette. But even on its own, it's divided into nice little quads. For an everyday look. It has 2 great shimmers over here, and then these, really dark brown and all of that. So you can get a great, beautiful party look as well as an everyday look. So I would recommend to have at least one palette in your arsenal. And then I wanted to break it down in terms of brushes. Very simple, basic. If nothing else, please get a blending brush. Something that's like this. It's a little fluffier and it's sort of tapered at the top. This helps you go into your crease, blend out all your eyeshadow. Then you want something that's a little bit flatter that you can put on your eyelid. And then something like this is great because it has one side, it has a pencil brush, and then on the other side it has like a small detailing brush. You can get these, you know, you can get a pencil brush separately and like a detailing, like a small little flat brush like that, just to get into the inner corners and then, you know, all of that stuff. So this is like a very, very, very basic sort of stuff that I'm saying that, you know, if nothing else, get these, because usually, especially in the affordable ones, you'll only get these kind. A lot of makeup YouTubers will throw theirs away. I would not throw it away because these are actually really great for getting shimmers and also for the inner corner. It fits in really well. So don't throw them away, use them for that. Make it very simple for yourself. Eyebrow pencil. I think I've talked about this in my do's and don'ts. Anytime you do a heavy kind of a makeup look and then don't fill in your eyebrows, just even like sparse areas, it just really helps in looking really clean and, you know, sort of framing your face. So a great buy. And there's so many eyebrow pencils out there. I'm just putting the one that I have. This is by Anastasia. This is the Brow Wiz. This is, you know, this is a game changer. Try to look for a brow pencil that has a spoolie on the end so that you don't have to buy a spoolie separately. Also, eyebrow pencils are much easier to use than a dip brow, especially for beginners. So yeah, so this would be really helpful. Another great tool that I highly recommend is to have a beauty sponge. This is a beauty blender, but you can get any. Just make sure that it's soft and that when you wet it, it expands and it's just really soft and it's easier to apply that way. This was, believe it or not, was red when I bought it. So I would not recommend the red beauty blenders. They just bleed out a lot of color. Really gross. Okay, next are a couple of things that I really like to have. Again, these are not completely the most important, but I'll tell you why it's a good idea to have them. What I'm going to be talking about is bronzer and blush. Why it's good to have them is because when you put on foundation, you sort of make your face into like a blank canvas again. So basically, you lose a lot of your natural shadows. And this, I'm not even talking about contouring. What both of these do is bring back a little bit of color and a little bit of life back to your face. So that's a really nice thing. I have my bronzer on. I like to use my bronzer on the outsides of my face because I've highlighted with concealer, just brightened up the center of my face. So I want the shadow to be on the outside. I haven't done any contouring today, but like a very natural, nice sort of bronzing. Again, this one, you must have heard me rave about it. It's the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, but any other one that you like. Again, also blush. Even just one simple blush like this one, it's a very neutral sort of a shade. You can use it for an everyday sort of look and you can use it even for party looks. I mean, blush is just something there to give you a little bit of flush to your skin, so it doesn't need to overtake your entire face. So that's what I would recommend. And of course, this is my personal favorite. Highlighter is really not the most important thing to have, but again, if you're going to be going out, and highlighter has really been a big makeup trend in the past few years. It's just, it looks so nice. Look at that. It just really picks up the light and bounces it back and gives you this beautiful sort of radiance and glow, and I really, really like highlighter. I like it on myself. I love doing it on my clients. I always tell them I'm like, my favorite part, you know. So a very nice affordable option is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. You just need to apply it on the high points of your face, right down the bridge of your nose, right here, maybe a little bit here. You don't need to go crazy with it, but it's always a nice touch. But just remember to blend it out. Everything. Remember to blend it out. If you want to get into sort of contouring and you're just not really sure, a great little thing that, you know, I really like is like this one by Sleek, is to just get a little contouring palette like this, which will have a contour, a blush, and a highlight. So then you don't need to buy them separately and you can just sort of play around with it on its own. Just make sure that the shade of the contour matches you, and it's better to get something that's a little ashy versus more orangey for contouring, just because you want a little bit of the shadow. And then something obviously very, very basic. Again, I'm sticking to a lot of the basics. Mascara, which most of you probably already have. Eyeliner, this is the felt tip eyeliner. It's nice to give you a cat eye. I think they're excellent to work with. They just, you know, really put on the color. I didn't put an eyeliner pencil. That's, again, if you want that. Kajal, all of that is great. Lipstick, I would recommend at least having a red. If you don't like red, you know, any color. Lipstick is so personal. And then a nice nude. Everyone wants a nice nude. And just to wrap it up, a few face brushes, because I did mention eye brushes. I thought I would mention a few face brushes that would be helpful. This is a great all-over bronzing brush. This is a good face brush for all your powders, all your setting powders. So one of that would be great. Something that's small like this that can be used to set your under eye powder or for your highlighter. This is a very versatile brush. This is actually called, there's a setting brush, but you can use it for all of these different things. And then one for your blush. I really like this one by Bobbi Brown. It's very soft and it's just a really nice size. For your blush, you want something that just disperses it like softly and not really pack on the pigment. And that's it. Our bag is empty. That's your basic makeup kit. If you would like me to talk about anything else, please let me know in the comments down below. Alright, and time for the giveaway before I wrap up this video, because I want to help you out build your makeup pouch or whatever you want to call it, makeup collection. I have a few things that I want to give away and that I hope would help out, especially those who are beginners with their makeup without having to spend for it. So I have a few things here which I want to tell you about. One is this eyeshadow palette by e.l.f. It's called Golden Goddess. It's the flawless eyeshadow, and what I really like about it in terms of the way it's set up for beginners. On the top it says base, then it says lid, it says crease, and it says line. So it basically even has this dark shade, so if you can want to do a smoky sort of eyeliner look with the eyeshadow, you can do that. I'm also including a waterproof eyeliner pencil. This is one of those felt tip eyeliners. This is supposed to last you 36 hours. And then I'm also including this really cute little heart-shaped blusher kit, and basically it has 5 different shades of blushes in it. Finally, we're not done yet. I am including this Eco Tools brush. This is the Precision Blush Brush. Eco Tools is really great because they use bamboo and recycled materials in making their brushes. I have a couple of their brushes, especially their face brushes. This is a really nice, extremely soft. I'm not opening it and touching it too much, but it's a very soft blush brush. And actually you can use it for a whole bunch of different purposes. You can probably even try it out for contour and bronzing and all of that good stuff. So this is an excellent addition to anyone's makeup pouch. अगर आपने ये giveaway जीतना है, if you want to win this giveaway, then you just need to do a couple of things. First of all, you need to subscribe down below. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? In the comments, tell me what level of makeup proficiency you think you are. Yani ke, do you think you are a beginner, amateur? Do you think you're above average, medium, middle, above average? Or do you think you're just a pro at makeup? So whichever level you feel that you are, let me know down below. And also write your Instagram handle. Why? Because you're going to also go into Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to my Instagram page. There will be a post with the picture of these products. Make sure you like that post. Tag 3 friends in the comment of that post and also mention your YouTube handle. So then I can cross-connect both of them. And that's it. If you're going to subscribe to unsubscribe, you will be disqualified. And also if you did that in my last giveaway, then you will also be disqualified because that's not cool. And that's kind of unfair. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe even if you're not going to be taking part in the giveaway. Please do subscribe. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Goodbye. Mwah.